Welcome back. All right, so quick little update slash news video for all you fine people on the internet before today's action gets started in the National Hockey League. Of course, we've got 3 games today, starting at noon Pacific, which is about a half an hour's time, 3 o'clock Eastern. Carolina playing in Ottawa. This is the potential last game for Ottawa. It is a 3-game series lead that Carolina enjoys, and if they win today, they get a nice rest before the next round. So we'll see how that turns out. Apparently, there's been 6 different times where Ottawa's been down 3-0, and on 3 of those 6 occasions, they forced a Game 5. So we'll see if they force a Game 5 in Carolina. At 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific, Dallas and Minnesota get at it. This, of course, being in Minnesota, and it's a nice early start time for Minnesota. Minnesota and Dallas definitely get the short end of the stick when it comes to start times in the playoffs. Absolutely crazy. But anyways, Dallas looking to go up 3-1. Minnesota looking to tie the series at 2. We'll see how that goes. I still think this series is probably going to go 7. Pittsburgh and Philly go at it, starting at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, and Philadelphia has a chance to sweep the series. So we could see 2 series done by the end of the day. We could see 1 done. We could see none. We'll see what happens. But for Philadelphia, this is a chance to take out the Pittsburgh Penguins and do it in 4 straight games, which I think there's a little bit of bragging rights there. So we'll see how that goes. For Pittsburgh, they're going to Silovs tonight. So they've made the change in net. I don't know how much I'd blame Skinner for Pittsburgh being down, but either way, they're going to Silovs tonight, so he gets the chance to start the game, and Silovs has been good in the NHL's playoffs before, and I'm speaking of his time in Vancouver. Vladar is going to get the start. So there was some discussion about whether or not Vladar would get the start, but he will be starting against the Penguins. Emil Andre remains out, but Philadelphia's been okay without him thus far, so should be fine, and Vladar being in the net is great news for the Flyers and not as great a news for the Penguins. So that should be a fun one. Lane Hutson with his overtime goal last night. He is the 7th youngest defenseman in the NHL's history to do so. He's the youngest U.S.-born player to do so. So NHL defensemen who score overtime goals. There are numerous overtime goals that have been very memorable that were scored by defensemen, and Hudson's takes its place next to a lot of those. Very, very exciting series between Tampa and Montreal. Every single game going to overtime, and it's just been a very fun series to watch. Very, very fun series to watch. The Anaheim Ducks last night in their game against the Oilers, scoring 7 goals. That's a first. So while the 11 combined goals in the game is the most that's ever been in an Anaheim Ducks playoff game, them scoring 7 is a first. So it's a series that's had a bunch of goals. If I said, the next one gets 13 and we get 13 goals, I wouldn't qualify that as being like a fantastic prediction. Just it feels like the offense is ramping up with every game. We'll see. And sometimes you'll get those 1-0 games in the middle of a series like that. So it can be unpredictable from one game to the next. But it feels like these teams are just very loose and defensively very loose as well, which might be part of the problem. And the goaltenders giving up some big rebounds as well. So it means more exciting hockey for us as fans. Probably something that causes coaches to pull their hair out. But either way, definitely makes for more fun hockey to watch, in my opinion. Especially since it's in that one series, and there's other series that have completely different setups, some of them more defensive than that one. All of them actually more defensive than the Edmonton-Anaheim series. With the Utah Mammoth hosting the game yesterday, Gary Bettman was present to announce that December 31st is the date for the 2027 Winter Classic. Haven't they done this before, where they have the Winter Classic for the year after the actual year it's being... Like, I understand it's New Year's Eve. I understand it's going to be 2027 the next day. But it's weird for it to be the 2027 Winter Classic when it's being played on December 31st of 2026. In my opinion. In my personal opinion. So, at any rate, that is the date, and they will be hosting the Avalanche, and that should be a really, really fun game. Definitely Utah's shown so far a very, very good hockey market, and the NHL made a judgment call that so far seems to have worked out really well for the league, for Utah, and I will say this, for any Coyotes fans who might be watching this, hopefully the NHL figures something out. So, last night in the AHL, games of massive consequence that ended series, there were 2 of them. Colorado beat San Diego 6-1 to win that series, 2 games out of 3. So they won both games. And Henderson beat San Jose 5-1. So now Henderson and Colorado play against each other in the next round. Yeah, that should be a good series. Best of 5 in the next round. So it's 3 and then 5. And then I think it's best of 7 in the series that follow that. Tonight, there are 2 games in the AHL. Springfield playing in Charlotte. That series is tied at 1, so this is the rubber match. Bakersfield playing in Coachella Valley. Bakersfield with the win in the first game. Coachella Valley has to win to keep their playoff dreams alive, and Bakersfield's looking to wind that one up with a 2-0 series. All other series being tied at 1. So, at least of the best 2 out of 3. But yeah, so it's going to be quite the games tonight in the AHL for those who might be watching. I would say this: the AHL, it is a very enjoyable product to watch in that you don't get as many ads, you don't get the board ads, you don't get any gambling talk at all, none. So if you're ever wanting like a refreshing, pure hockey experience, might I suggest the American Hockey League. They don't pay me for any of that at all. The Abbotsford Canucks don't pay me for any kind of praise I give them at all. I'm very impressed with the American Hockey League. I don't know what else to say on it. Robertson is looking to tie a franchise record for the Stars, which is also North Stars territory, in that Steve Payne had goals in the first 4 playoff games. I think it was 81. I think that was during that Stanley Cup playoff run in 81. Where they went all the way to the final. But Steve Payne, who was one of my favorites, I actually did a career video on him, and then I got a letter from him, which was awesome. But yeah, so Jason Robertson is looking to tie his franchise record. If he can get a goal in that 4th straight game to start the playoffs, then he would tie that record. We'll see. Robertson's been very, very good, obviously. So we'll see if he can continue that today against the Minnesota Wild, who know they cannot go down today 3-1, heading back to Dallas. That would be a very bad thing. So Minnesota knows they need to tie up the series. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. I also want to say that the hat I'm sporting, I did order this from the THG Store, and the hats that are being made by Fourth Wall, I think, are better than the hats that we were getting made previously. So just throwing that out there. And this time I didn't go for red. I went for gray because I was like, I want one that's neutral and goes with everything. So figured I'd wear it in this video. But thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. Let me know your winners in the comment section below. Apologies that I didn't get this done sooner. But I knew that today there's 3 games. I'm kind of taking it easy a little bit. And I will be doing a video later today on teams that missed playoffs. I'm up to Winnipeg. So I'll be doing a video on the Winnipeg Jets at some point during the day today. And so stay tuned for that. But thank you guys for your support. Greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.